So along here it's super wet, soggy. Along this side of the fence here. We're gonna get back here, there's gonna be standing water as we get in this area. There, along here, obviously there's a bunch of water back there. But we're gonna go along the outside because she owns all the way back. We're gonna get along this area here. I got standing water, I'm stepping in times. Right. So along here, on the outside, we'll go on this side of the fence. Try to stay away from those that maple tree. Along here, let me out around a little bit. So they know the owner of the apartments well, so we can work on this side. It's going to help them out too. And we'll obviously get a couple basins in through here. Basically, all up to the front corner of the fence. And then we got another section that's going to come into here. Go here, around just slightly around the corner here, around the back of the barn, because this gets flooded, turn into a lake, and then they can't get anything out. So take the French drain through the lower areas here up to the front fence.
Our very first French drains that we installed 40 years ago are still working today, and they work every bit as good as the drains that we're putting in today. We're in New Baltimore, Michigan, putting in a foundation French drain and a perimeter French drain. So always do an open French drain when you have no gutters. This building has no gutters. Yes, it needed a foundation French drain, water's getting inside. But with all the water cascading off, I don't care if this building was high and dry, I'd want to do something like this if you had no gutters. I always recommend gutters. I think gutters are a good idea, but some people don't like the way gutters look. So put an open French drain at the base of the building when you do not have gutters. We have a 500-foot French drain system. A lot of trench here, a lot of trench. We're putting a foundation drain around the garage, and then we have a perimeter drain going around the yard. This place floods really bad. Water sits, just lays here for months. We've been in a drought, everything's dry, now is the time. Look at this. Beautiful foundation drain. The guys are getting some of the pipe in all the way around. That garage is not going to have a drop of water in it. It's going to stay really, really tight, really, really dry. So this is a really big system. We got a finger out here with a catch basin because we have standing water out here. We're going to come this way. We're staying in the lowest point. Water finds the low point. Right here we're going to have catch basins. You can see catch basin, another catch basin, another catch basin up there. Just this area just pools. We're trying to stay far enough away from the tree. We got permission from this property owner. They want the water problem gone. So it's great when neighbors can work together like this. We're going to connect. This is going to be a balance tube is what we refer to it as. And then we still have to run this another 130 feet out to the front. Really big system. This is just one of 3 piles of stone that will be going into this job. Guys are cutting all the excess, all that extra fabric, all that excess fabric. Cut it off. This is the beginning of this line. They got cleanouts on that. Same thing here, 2 pipes, 2 cleanouts. This is the beginning of the line. Guys got a couple more cleanouts over here. Double pipe. Everything's double pipe. "500 feet of French drain." 500 feet of French drain. A lot of pipe. Everything's double piped. This is a heavy clay soil in this area. So if we put the sod back on that we cut off, until the grass roots grow through all the holes in the fabric, it won't really grab surface water. So we want to put sand. This is a drain sand. It's going to take a year for this turf grass to grow down into the French drain, because you actually want it to grow down into the French drain. That's going to help the water at the surface drain down into the drain. You can see we're using drainage sand. It's been washed twice. Got rid of all the sediment. Any clay sediment has been washed out of that sand. The guys are going to put 1.5 inches. You can see they're putting 1.5 inches aggregate right on top of the French drain. That way the lawnmower and the weed whip won't have a problem with this. If you put just a little stone here, then the weed whip will shoot it, the lawnmower will pick it up and shoot it out. So we like to put bigger aggregate for our open French drain. Always leave your French drain a little lower when you're going to do an open French drain. The guys left enough room for a few inches of stone, a nice thick layer of stone. "500 feet. 500 feet of trench. Big job. A lot of pipe, a lot of stone, a lot of machine hours. The guys, they hauled out all the dirt. Notice how there's no dirt on the side of the trenches. They hauled it all away. It was a lot of dirt. We fill it in with stone and pipe. People want to talk about not being able to grow grass on it. That's why we put, 4 inches of drain sand down. That really helps for the grass. The guys did an amazing job here. Their execution, the layout, all of it, they nailed it. No water can get in this building. They have a foundation drain that goes around the entire building. It discharges through the French drain in the yard right here. You can see right here, this foundation French drain connects to the perimeter, the yard drain that we put in. Guys did a great job on this. All this is connected. So now this will flood real bad. So the guys went ahead. They got a catch basin on a solid pipe here. And there's the perforated pipe clean out. Now this perimeter French drain runs right through here. They already have this covered. You can see right here. Sand, 4 inches of sand, and then the sod. Right here. Again, drainage sand, and then the sod. Look at this. That's a great cutaway right there. So they have two 4-inch perforated pipes at the bottom. Then they have a 4-inch solid. We're going to have a lot of catch basins on it. This is a big system, 500 feet. Look at all that stone. We give our clients their money's worth. Do you see any dirt put back in that system? Absolutely not. Do not put any of the dirt back in. 6-inch catch basins. See, the holes are already drilled in them. Guys do great work. The guys do really nice work. We got the female here, the male here. We're using our domed 6-inch. Look at that. It's ridiculous. It's like there's nothing there. This is our full throttle 6-inch grate. It's domed so that the leaves can't lay flat on it and plug it. If you have a lot of bulk water, you're going to need to do a yard drain inside your French drain, the way you see it here. Beautiful work. So many tree roots. The guys put a lot of copper sulfate in the trench. You can see the crystals. You see that blue in the dirt? That is copper sulfate crystals, and they covered it heavy through here. When we dig this up, this is going to be covered real heavy in here with copper sulfate crystals to kind of hold those roots at bay for a while. This is a great cutaway of a French drain, yard drain combined. You use the same trench. Your sweat equity goes towards both systems. Simple, really nice. We've been doing them like this for many, many years with great results. It's a fantastic system. You want to tape these connections up really good when you put the pipe in there. Tape it where the coupler goes on the catch basin and where the pipe goes in the coupler. Tape it really good because you're going to lose water pressure. When you're running the solid line, if you lose water pressure, any dirt that those basins take in, it will not be able to carry out to the discharge area. Beautiful how they combined the foundation French drain with the perimeter French drain, tied them together right here. This foundation French drain can exit two different ways. It can exit right there, and it can also exit over here, where the guys connected it to the perimeter French drain once again. Beautiful design, well thought out, well done, love it. This building is so low. Look how low that building is. This building has had flooding issues for 20 years. Not anymore. It's going to be dry. Nothing takes in water faster than an open French drain. Water runs right through that stone and then right through the fabric. Not many drain companies would bring in two different types of rock to build a system specific to do certain things. Everything was installed using this laser transit. You got a transmitter and you got a receiver, and that's what that looks like. And when you're working property, 500 feet of French drain, you're stretched across the deep, big lot. You need to have it. It's really hard to run string levels and all the different things. You got to know where you're at the beginning, and you got to know ahead of time where you're going to end up at the end. Beautiful job. This little building is going to be dry, nice and tight. This homeowner is going to love this yard drain system. They flooded so bad down the property line, across the backyard, all of it. This yard in the spring, it sits just flooded for a couple months. They can't even use it, so they're going to get their yard back. This big tree, I love how we built the system trying to stay off it as far as we can. The tree picked up the grade over the years. The roots, they get really big underground. So what happens is the ground raises. This ground wasn't this height. This ground was flat. Now it has this giant damming effect, which makes the drainage problem even worse. Well, all the water that's being shed off this now higher ground, we're grabbing it. We're grabbing it with all these French drains. Nothing works as good as a French drain system built the way we do, and they work forever. Our first French drain that we installed works as good today as our last French drain.
If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions about yard drainage, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.